How is everyone today? I hope you're all well. Today we're going to do a quest tutorial on a more complex quest. This one is going to involve a change location event and finding pieces of a weapon and putting it back together. So let's get started by creating the quest we want to make. In character tree, we're on the quest. I uploaded the creation kit with the Skyrim ESM and the update ESM. That's all I'm using. I'm going to right click here, hit new. The ESP in this is going to be called Broken Sword, so we're going to use BS. This here, underscore. And the sword we're going to look for is called Schaap. Now this is an actual sword that's in Norse mythology. We're not going to create it what it says it does, because that one says you cannot be drawn in the presence of a woman and all that. We're just going to make the sword for cosmetic effects to make this quest. So we'll call this quest Schaap. We will undo start game enable, run once, change it to a side quest, and from here we're going to close it out. We're going to save our progress. We're going to name it Broken Sword. Now we're going to start putting the pieces together that we need. First we need the pieces of the weapon. So we're going to go down to item tree, miscellaneous weapons. Type in broken. I'm going to use these two right here. So we're going to duplicate the steel sword broken handle. Open this up. And we are going to rename this BS hilt. BS underscore hilt. And we will call this Schaap hilt. Click OK. No new form because we duplicated it. Hit yes. Now we want to duplicate the steel sword broken top. Open up that one. I'm going to call that one BS underscore blade. We'll call this Schaap blade. Hit OK. And no new form. There we go. So I type in the BS over here. It brings both of them up. So from here we're going to save again. So from here we're going to go down to weapons. A weapon. Type in steel sword. Right click and duplicate. Open up your duplicate. We're going to name this BS underscore Schaap sword. We'll name it Schaap. Now, if you wanted to create an enchantment and add enchantment into it, you could do that. If you want to change the damage, let's say you want to change the base damage to 15. Crit hit to 8, whatever you want to do. But I'm just doing this for the quest. Click OK. Don't create a new form. Hit yes. And now we've got a sword ready. And save. Now we're going to head back into the character tree, back to quest. Find your quest. I'm going to open this back up. We're going to click on the event box and we're going to put this to change location event. Click OK. Now we're going to open the quest back up. Start setting up our stages. So we'll start with stage 0. It's going to be a startup quest, startup stage. Let's go to 10, 20, 30, and 100. Now I always go to 100 to leave extra stages we could add in between, because I'm not completely sure how many stages we're going to need yet. But 0 will be the startup, 100. Right click in here and hit new. That'll be the quest complete. Click OK here. From here, we're going to want to go under the character tree down to SM event node. Move this out of here. Change location event. Double click it. Up top. Right click. New quest node. Go into here. We're going to name this BS Scuffnun's node. I'm going to click Shares Event button. I'm going to go back up to our node, right click and add a quest. This box will pop up when it says add a quest. It was way up in the corner. So, find your quest, add that in, click OK. So what this is going to do is every time the player changes a location, it'll scan through here, and any conditions met, if there's any quest to start, it'll start the quest. I want to click on here. So the ones I have in here, I already have the conditions in. The first one you want is get event data. And on this, it will say get his ID. You want to click new location. We're going to put it in Whiterun, Belethor, general goods location. Click OK there. The other one, we don't have this quest to try to fire if the quest is running. So this condition, this new condition you add would be get quest running. The quest would, the Scoffnunge quest, I keep mispronouncing it, but it's an odd word. I set that to 0. Same thing on this one here. This will be a new quest. Each one of these is a new condition you're adding. Get quest completed, your quest, and set that to 0. So what this will do is make sure that you change location, go to Belethor Schaap, the quest hasn't started, the quest isn't running, and now that's all you need. And click OK there. And save. Let's go back to the quest. We gotta start prepping this good thing together. We're gonna use some quest aliases. New reference alias. We're a unique actor. Belethor. Name it Belethor. Oh, I forgot to add some of the stuff that's in here, so let's go back into here. Open this back up. We want allow reserved, optional. We can set it to essential. That way they're essential during this quest so they don't die and ruin the quest. We don't need to really reuse in the quest, but we can. We will do that. So that's what we need here. We have everything we need. Now, duplicate that alias. That way we have all the checkboxes right up top. We don't need to keep doing that. We're going to start in here. You can act on this. It's going to be Uthgerd. Oops. There we go. There's not going to be a package on this one at all. Then I'm going to duplicate again. I'll change this to Eorland. I got with Eorland Greymane. Click OK. OK. And save here. Alright, I'm going to go back to the alias. I realized in the video, I saw in the recording too late that it wasn't recording the top of the box for the alias. so you couldn't see what I was checking or what I was typing. Bellathor is the name on the first one. Allow reserve, essential, optional, allow reuse and quest. When you can't see the OK button, just hit enter in here. It'll close it out. Then you duplicated the other ones. The next one is going to be Uthgerd. Just change your name here to the unique actor and her NPC, and then change that name. Click in here and enter. And then Eorland is the next one. Same steps as the other ones. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to open the quests back up and go back to stages. We're going to add some stages. I know this has been a long tutorial, but there is a lot to this. And this is to help you create this type of quest. This was a requested tutorial, and I didn't want to go with a dagger, the Daedric dagger you go through Dawn-Start again. I didn't want to completely recreate the quest. I wanted to make something original so you have the idea of how to do it. So we're going to add some stages. We're going to add a few more. It doesn't matter if you use all the stages in a quest that you add. We're going to need more here coming up. So we're going to add them up to like 70. We're going to 50, 60, and 70. And we will code all this very soon. But click here and save. Next, let's go to quest objectives. The first one we're going to set at 0. Now, I know you probably see I already got some in there. That's because I had to come back and edit the video. It's been a very busy work week, and I've done this in pieces on the way through, and I forgot a couple things. So I'm going to come back through and add the one for Bellathor. Which is going to be, ask Bellathor what he's rambling about. And this one will be 10. Speak with Eorland Greymane. Hit new down here. And find Eorland's alias. There we go. Create another new. Number 20. Speak with Uthgerd about the pieces. Another new down here. Find Uthgerd's alias. Let's go new again. Complete the vanilla quest in my time of need. This will be 30. Won't be a need to set an alias on this one. New. Take this one to 40. The alias, we are going to set an alias to this in a bit. We're going to create some more aliases for the parts. We'll do that. We'll do that very soon. Again. This one will be 50. Return to Eorland with all the pieces. Another new. This one will be 60. Repair Schaap. There will be no need for an alias on this one either. Close it out here. And save. Let's open the quest back up. Go into player dialogue. This is another edit I had to make. I forgot to add Bellathor's dialogue. So, what are you talking about? I had it right here. If we hit new, BS underscore Bellathor 01. Then the topic was BS Bellathor 1 topic 3. He says, what are you talking about? Skofnung, the old Nordic sword of legend. The Alias put out a reward for the recovery. If anyone needs information, tell them to speak with Eorland Greymane. The condition, get stage, our quest, stage 0, and get his ID, Bellathor. Then get on a quest, set stage 10. Next thing we're going to go to, you're going to want to create one here. Just hit new, and we'll call this one Eorland. BS underscore Eorland. Then over here, it will be BS underscore Eorland 01. And then I heard from Bellathor, you have information on Skofnung. In this one here, you're actually going to hit goodbye box. We're going to put, I believe the parts of the sword have been found by someone in Whiterun. She just doesn't know it yet. And I spelled Uthgerd wrong in that one, but it's Uthgerd. She was hard to approach ever since the incident with the companions. Just ignore that. And this one is going to be set to goodbye. Get on a quest, set stage 20. That's going to be put into there. Compile it. And I go to advance, and I rename the script Skofnung 20. Yeah, I've already done that, so we'll just leave that there. Now, in this one with Eorland, we need a couple conditions. The condition will be get stage, BF Skofnung, and stage 10. And then get his ID, Eorland Greymane, and make sure this is set to him. Now we got get on a quest stage 20. The next one the next dialogue we're gonna want to make, it'll look new, BS Uthgerd. These ones we go back and do, I'm doing them in order as they're gonna go. They'll line themselves up after we create them. But this is how I did it. I'm walking you through it in order, how I was gonna go in the quest. In here, it's going to be Uthgerd 01, BS Uthgerd 01. Then I'm going to create a new topic. Uthgerd 02, Uthgerd 03. Those are the ones you're going to want in here. So Uthgerd 01. Rumor has it you found parts of a broken sword. I have. What do you want with this junk? Now, the stages. Or the conditions. Get stage, BS Skofnung, stage 20. That's what she's going to say this. And then, of course, get his ID, Uthgerd, set to 1, so that is her. So she can only say this on stage 20. Then over here, we're going to put an add link, and we want to put BS Uthgerd 02. And then this will go to here. It may be the parts of a legendary sword the Jarl is looking for. Yeah, ignore that. Well, I have no idea how to repair it. So if you do me, we're not gonna do me. We're gonna do me a favor. Sounds a little off when you put it that way. So if you do me a favor, the parts are yours. And the other thing we need to add in here, you click the new add link. Go to Uthgerd 03. Now we'll go down to 3. And then when she asks for the favor, you ask her, what is it you need? Sadia the wench and banded mare seems to be on edge. Help her with her issue, and you can have all the pieces. That one here, that click to goodbye. So them are the two sets of dialogue we're going to add there. And then we're going to get his own quest, set stage 30. Now, I will put all of these, the code will all be in the description like usual on my tutorials. Rename it over here. Go up here, Skofnung 30. I've already done it here, so I'm just going to cancel that out. Click OK. Close out of here. Make sure in that you did put goodbye on that third one. That's goodbye here. Now, once that happens, that's when it will come up. You have to complete the vanilla quest in my time of need, because the next one you're going to create new Uthgerd end. How to go in. This one I help Sadia. This is after the quest is complete. She says, it will be good to see her smile again. I'm a woman of my word, so here's the hilt that I have found. Along with this, along with the key to my house, along with the key to my home, feel free to go in and grab the blade as well. This one's going to be a goodbye. There's going to be 3 different conditions for this one to come up to start with, because we don't want it to say this till after you've completed the quest in my time of need, which the code for that quest is MS08. So if you ever need the code for the quest, just go on to Wikipedia or whatever and type in the quest you're looking for. It will give you the creation kit code. So we have this get quest completed, quest MS08, and set that to 1. That means it has to be completed for her to say this dialogue. And at this point, we want our quest, get stage, to be at stage 30. Then of course Uthgerd is the NPC. Now in here, get on in quest, set stage 40, compile that, and I rename it across Schaap 40 up here. And now from here, the last, even though it's lined up different, last piece, once you've recovered all the pieces, and you'll see that stage set soon, how that gets set to this stage, you return to Eorland. I've recovered the pieces, what you say to him. The sword needs to be repaired using the Skyforge. Here is the steel ingot. Go ahead. You should be able to repair it yourself. All that will be coded soon. The pieces you will get, the pieces that will be sent in. Right now, we're moving the stages forward. So from here, get on in quest, set stage 60. Of course, we change that to Schaap 60. And this should be goodbye on this one. Click here. From that point, our dialogue is pretty much done. We're going to click OK, and we're going to save. All right, next we're going to open the quest back up. We're going to go back into quest aliases. We're going to create some aliases for the weapon and what we're going to do in this quest. We're going to go new reference alias. We'll call this one chest. Well, chest BS for the code of that there. So over here, we're not going to need really any of this. So we're going to go specific reference. Now this is where it's going to get, so what this is going to be the alias for the container that the blade goes into when after she gives you the hilt and she goes to this. So we're going to go down to here. We're going to go into Uthgerd's house. Right here. So when you get into, it's going to open up her house in the render window. Now you're going to want to be careful inside the render window, because I'm going to try to walk you through the controls as we do this. And it has, there we go, double click, and it should, there we go. It should load up this. First, to move around without touching anything, press on your mouse wheel. Just click it down and make sure you're not hitting anything else. Now hold shift and just move your mouse around. There should be a chest. It is probably upstairs. So if we move the mouse window and pull down, it'll go up. There's the chest right there we want. We want to use the mouse wheel to click on the mouse wheel, move it sideways, so we have access to this. Now go back into the alias where we were, and the force reference. Open your alias back up. Click select force rep. There we go. It'll bring you back to the render window. Double click on the chest. Now it should show you where it is. Whiterun, Uthgerds's house. and evidence chest up top. Click OK here. And that is all we should need for that one. Click OK. The next one we're going to make is for the blade. So let's make a new reference alias. This is going to be for the blade. In here, we're going to hit create reference to object. And we want to find the piece we made that was for the blade, which was BS blade. Leave that at easy because that doesn't matter. We're going to create it in the BS chest. And we made it as an alias. So what this will do, when this happens, the blade will be put into that chest. So then you can go find it. So we got to add we're going to add a script that is from, this is going to happen, hit yes to all. We're going to add a script, a default script that's already in the game and used on many things. Wait for the box to come up. So what we're going to look for here is a default set stage on player retire. And this one's going to be very simple. We're going to edit the properties. So obviously we're going to add my quest, the one we're making. We don't need we only need the second one down. We don't need the other one. What this will do is, like, you have to be stage 6 to get this, and we're not going to do that one here. We want to push this to stage 50. That is when you have anything and you go back to Eorland. You have all the parts and you're going to repair the sword. So from here, click OK. Click OK here. Let me go back into this, because I know I keep forgetting that this doesn't set itself down like it's supposed to. It doesn't bring the top down. I open this back up because I keep forgetting this window doesn't come all the way down. So what we have here is nothing up here. We just called it blade. We find the piece that we made the blade when we made it at the beginning of the quest, which is in here, BS blade. Easy. Create in the chest alias we made, and then we made that code. Let me pull the other alias down just in case the other one didn't show that window. It's one of those annoying things in the creation kit. There we go. That one was just chest BS, and I went through everything how to get that chest there. Now we want to go back to quest objectives. We want to find, now you're going to retrieve the blade. So here, we want to hit new. And now we want to find the blade. So that'll point the map marker to the blade. Click OK and save. I want to open the quest back up. We're going to add one more thing before we code this whole thing. So we're going to go to scenes this time. Create a new. Let's call this Skofnunge announce. Now what I want this scene to do, this is going to be, it isn't a scene in the middle of the quest, it's the scene at the beginning of the quest. So when you walk into Belethor's shop, the way we're setting this up, the quest should start just by entering his shop. And then from there, I want him to be talking. Like, you come through the door and he's telling you, if you're here for something, you'll see what I mean. To make the quest more believable, not like you walk up to someone and say, what can I do for you? And they just tell you what to do. So it kind of leads into something happening. Like, he seems bothered by other people have been asking him stuff. So, new actor. Want Belethor. Add face at the end. This one is going to be very simple because there's no package needed. New action. Want dialogue. And from here, we'll make it so it looks a little disgusted. Go to new. First thing he's going to say, and he isn't going to move in this. When you enter the shop, he's just going to blurt this out. This will lead up to a reason to approach him and say, look, what are you talking about? If you're here for information on Skofnung, I have told everyone that I've never seen the pieces of this sword. That's going to be the first piece. Ignore that. Capitalize the I. That's going to be fine. Then we're going to go a new one here. And this one, I butchered that word. I will correct it. Just because everything is for sale doesn't mean I have seen everything that's for sale. Have this one discussed. Oh, he's got to go back to this and change everything. I already corrected that in there. Add discuss there. Not that you really see his facial expressions, because when you walk in the door, he'll just start saying this. Click OK. Click OK. And that's it. That scene is done. Close out here and save your progress. There is one thing that I found we need to do with this scene. Let's get back into it. So in the scene, because there is, when you enter shops, they greet you. Like when you go Bellathor, if you can't find what you need, look around, maybe I can help you find it, whatever he says when you walk in. So we need to change the scene around to a couple things. One, we're going to check begin right here. Begin on a quest start in the scene. Two, add another phase to the end. So all you do is add phase to the end. Then drag like this. This was over here. You're going to click this over here. Just keep it so it's in the other one. So that stays there. And then from here, you're going to right click in here, add a timer, which I already did. And on the add the time on the timer, change it to 5 seconds. That's the one thing that's going to change on the scene, because when you first enter, they're already greeting you saying something else. So that starts the scene, gives 5 seconds pass, lets them say what they're going to say, then he'll greet you with this greeting here. Now it's time to finalize this quest with the scripting. So let's get the code written for this. We're going to start out by going down to the items tree, go to weapons. We want the sword. We're going to add a default script. Sometimes you'll get an error. Just hit yes to all. And this one we want default. Set stage on player acquire. Now there's two of these. We use this one in the Alias. Now the difference is the one that doesn't say on item, that'll only work on an Alias. This one you have to put on that's for the item itself. Click go here. It's going to go in the same way the other one did though. Oops, cancel that out. Edit properties. Go to our quest. There it is there. I'm going to set this to 100. So once we craft the weapon, we've repaired it, and it ends the quest. Close out here, and save. Now let's get the coding done in this quest. I'm going to go back into here, we're going to go to stages. So we're going to start at stage 0. First thing I want to do is I want to put in a semicolon and just put SceneStart. Now what I do is these are notes in the scripts to tell, if I got to come back and look for an error, I can tell, well, let's say the error was on stage 10, or it was where the scene didn't start. I can come back, okay, this is the first one. This is a startup stage. It says SceneStart right there. Hit that, hit compile. Next one that's going to go in is we're going to put SetObjectiveDisplayed 0. Compile that. Now we're going to add a property for the scene that we want to start. So we're going to add a property. Find, open this, drop this down, and get the scene. Now we'll just name the scene. We're just going to name the scene Speak. That doesn't mean the whole scene is named. That's just the property of the scene. You'll see what I mean. It makes it easier when you're going to put the code in. So click OK, and you'll see it pop up. From Speak, now you want to edit the value, and you want to find the scene we're going to add, which should be BS underscore Schaap announce. That's the one with Belfo talking. So from there, we've added this. So in this code, Speak will call for that. So in here, we're going to go back into here. Just type in Speak. .start. Close out the code and hit compile. This one is when we go and we talk Eorland. So I put a semicolon in Eorland. So this here, we're going to add a couple more lines. Get objective complete, 0, and then the set objective displayed 10. Compile that. Now we're going to go to stage 20, where we talk to Uthgerd. We're going to add a couple lines of code in here. I'm going to change this around to get objective complete 10, set objective displayed 20, and compile. We can copy these out of here. Go to stage 30. New up in here. And this is after we've completed her favor. Complete objective 20. Set objective displayed 30. So in here, I'm going to put a semicolon and just put favor. That's after you've done her the favor. So here that we labeled favor is actually where she asked you to do the favor. Then we're going to go to 40. You've completed in my time of need. Put that one here. So here we got to create a property. So we're going to add a property. I'm going to call this miscellaneous object. And we'll call this BS Hilt. Autofill, because we named it what we named that piece. So it already did. So we're good there. So we'll go back up to here. Copy this out of here. I'm going to set these to 30 and 40. Compile this. Now we're going to go down to stage 50. This is once she sent you down to acquire the blade. Set objective complete. Set objective displayed to 50. Compile this. We do got to go back to 40 for a second. Back here at 40, we have to add one other property because she said she's going to give you the key. So add the property. Change it to a key. And we're going to name the property the same as what the game has named it. WhiterunUthgerdsHouseKey. Click OK here. That should autofill because you named it the same. Click OK here. So we got the property in, and now we're going to do the same line we got above. Game.GetPlayer. AddItem. WhiterunUthgerdsHouseKey. 1. Compile this. Now let's go to stage 60. Here, this is when you're going to approach Eorland. I'm not going to put any more. Well, I guess we could. We'll just put have the parts. So we know that's part of that quest. Get objective completed 50. Get objective displayed 60. From here, we're going to compile this. We're going to put in a property because he offers to give you a steel ingot. So let's add the property. Miscellaneous item. Miscellaneous object. We're going to name it the same they do in the game. Ingot steel. Click OK. Again, that should autofill because you named it the same reference ID number the game gave it. Click OK here. And we want the game to give it to the player. So Game.GetPlayer, AddItem, steel ingot 1. Compile here. Now from here, he tells you to go and create the sword or repair the sword. So once you repair the sword, it's going to add the sword to your inventory. That completes the quest. So complete all objectives. Stop. Compile there. And click OK. So we're now coded. But we're going to do one other thing. And that is constructible objects. We're going to create the recipe for the sword. So I'm just going to put a steel sword. Recipe for the steel sword. Duplicate it. Open up the duplicate. And we're going to change this. Created object is going to be. It's going to be the Schaap sword. So from here, we're going to put in here, these is what it requires to build this sword. So here, we go over to here to change the object. We're going to put it to BS without the blade. And we'll go over to here, BS. These are the items we've already created. I'm going to take the hilt. It's going to take a steel ingot. On this here, we want it to just be the Skyforge. That's where you have to repair it. So it has steel smithing. You can keep this here if you want. You can remove it. That means you've got to at least have the steel smithing perk unlocked to create this. And then from here, we're going to change this up here to VS underscore Schaap recipe. Okay, double check this. Everything is all good here. Click OK. You don't need to create a new form because you place the duplicate. Keep that one the same. And there you are.
Welcome to Bellathor's General Goods. Welcome indeed. If you're here for information on Skofnung, I have already told everyone that I have never seen the pieces of the sword. Just because everything is for sale doesn't mean I have seen everything that's for sale. Skofnung, the old Nordic sword of legend? The Jarl has put out a reward for its recovery. If anyone needs information, tell them to speak with Eorland Greymane.
My poor Fralia think Thorald's still alive, but I know better. I believe the parts of this sword have been found by someone in Whiterun. She just doesn't know it yet. It's Uthgerd the Unbroken. She's hard to approach ever since the incident with the companions.
I have. What do you want with this junk? Well, I have no idea how to repair it. So if you do me a favor, the parts are yours. Sadia, the wench in Bannered Mare, seems to be on edge. Help her with her issue, and you can have all the pieces.
Then I need your help, and there isn't anyone else I can trust here in the city.
For you. It will be good to see her smiling again. I'm a woman of my word, so here is the hilt that I had found. Along with the key to my home. Feel free to go in and grab the blade as well.
My poor Fralia think Thorod's still alive, but I know better. The sword needs to be repaired using the Skyforge. Here is a steel ingot. Go ahead. You should be able to repair it yourself.